The law applies to everyone, even politicians. But some of them don't seem to get it. What happens when these politicians are pulled over by the cops? Here are 4 instances when cops pulled over politicians, and how they react to being stopped by the law, and try to get out of trouble by using their influence.
You run the county?
Yeah, I'm chairman of the county.
Okay.
I'll call it. I won't call Eric Dial, but I'll call the rest of them. But I pay my bills. This will not go over well.
Starting off with Martin Hyde, a congressional candidate who was pulled over by a Sarasota police officer for speeding and texting while driving. He tried to reference his connections in the community in an apparent attempt to avoid a ticket. The officer pulls Martin over and approaches him to talk to him about the problem.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, sir? I'm Sebastian, Sarasota Police Department. You're on audio and video recording. The reason for the stop, you were observed going 57 and a 40, and you were on your phone texting while you were doing that.
You don't need to point at the officer.
I'm not pointing at you, I'm pointing in the direction where it was.
Martin starts to argue with the officer, saying that she is pointing at such an influential person. Martin continues to argue and denies the tickets. When the officer keeps on persisting with the tickets, Martin warns her, saying that she is making her career decisions by doing that. He thinks that he is the only one in power.
I see your license, registration, insurance, please.
You can do this?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry? I still have a job to do, sir.
Yeah, for me. What's your name?
Officer Baskin, it's going to be on the citation. Can I see your insurance, registration, and your license, please? Sir, can I have your paperwork, please? 7 years, sir. Can I see your registration, please? You're not going to give me your registration, sir.
You arrest me?
I'm asking you if you're going to produce me with your registration.
What happened?
You don't have it on you?
Look, go call the chief of the tell him how rude you just been to me. Play with this video.
Okay.
Martin insists the officer call her supervisor to the scene. He says that she knows who he is. He questions the officer's nationality and rudely says that it is her Russian immigrant status that makes her talk to people like this. But she is just doing her job.
Call the supervisor. Is it your Russian immigrant status that makes you talk to people like this?
The officer calls for her supervisor and for a backup unit. Martin then tells one of the other officers that he is going to make sure that she pays the price for being disrespectful.
10-4, the driver being extremely uncooperative.
We're going to make sure that she pays the price for being disrespectful.
Martin later issued a public apology and admitted to being rude during the exchange. He said that he was sorry to let so many people down. He knew that his image was going down, so he tried to revive that, but it didn't undo what he did. The next one is also something like this, who tried to use his power while he was pulled over for speeding. It is just too common. Joe Mullins, Flagler County Commissioner, was stopped for going 92 miles per hour, nearly 22 miles per hour over the speed limit.
Hey, look, so 92 miles an hour is 22 over the speed limit, okay? Normally I give warnings, I give breaks, but it looks like you've been written a warning already, so I do issue the citation.
A Florida trooper pulls Joe over and reaches him to tell him that he was speeding over the limit. Joe then suddenly tries to spell his authority over the trooper to get away with the tickets. He tells the trooper that he runs the county and that he is the chairman of the county commission. The trooper then gives him a citation and lets him go. Joe later claimed that he was preparing for his family to come into town and rushing between meetings when he was pulled over, and that he was not paying attention to his speed or the limit. He promised to pay more attention to his speed and be aware of his time. Joe then paid a $281 fine for his crime and realized that his status could not save him from the law. Now, if you thought this was enough, see this next one who shouted at the cops violently on top of breaking the law. Karen Z. Turner, a Democratic lobbyist from Tenafly, flashed her Port Authority badge to get away with police officers after her daughter was pulled over for an expired registration.
Hi, I'm Karen Turner. Hi, it's Nair. I'm a resident. Here you go.
It's fine. I don't need that.
The cops try to question her daughter, but Karen tells them about herself to get away.
Give me a little bit of space here.
She asks her daughter to go away so she can talk to the cops on her own.
Are you a commissioner?
I am a commissioner. one of the commissioners, and I'm heading up.
Do you have an ID with
for,
that?
That is my ID, and that is my business card.
The cops keep on saying that she is not involved in this, but she wants to use her authority.
This does not involve you 1%.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does, because I'm picking them up, and I'm
1%.
offering to take responsibility for them, and you...
When she keeps asking the cop about what the problem is, the cop says that it is her behavior.
What is the problem?
That's fine.
Why is it such a difficulty to say why they're being pulled over and why the car's being towed?
Because everything has already been explained.
I know, but I know.
Why do you need to know?
Because this is impacting me, because
Why?
I got 4 people who are coming back to my house, including people who live in New Haven attending Yale Graduate School, a PhD student, and I don't know why it's so difficult to say what the problem is.
She continues to argue with the cops baselessly, saying that they ruined her holiday weekend.
Thank you very much, Saditsky and Kaplan. Thank you for
Have
your
a nice day.
information and help. You know what? I hope you have a really nice holiday weekend, too, because you just ruined it for a lot of people. Without
I
even the
didn't.
decency.
I didn't ruin anything.
She says that she is disappointed in the way the cops are acting.
I'm very disappointed in the way the two of you are acting. You cannot even tell me, a mother living in Tenafly for 20 years with 2 kids who went through the school system, what the problem is.
She then starts to point at cops directly and disrespects them, saying to shut up.
Of what the
Are you
problem
finished
is?
now? Are you finished, ma'am?
I'm shocked.
Are you
I'm
finished?
shocked and very disappointed. Thank you for
may
your
take
help.
them. You may take them now.
You may not tell me when to take my child. You may not tell me when I may take my kids and her friends who are PhD students from MIT and Yale. You may tell me nothing.
The officers remain calm and professional throughout the encounter. The Port Authority received a complaint about Karen's behavior and launched an investigation. They censured Karen in a unanimous vote, saying that she violated the code of ethics and forfeited the public's trust with her actions. They also sent letters of apology to the police officers. Karen did not apologize for her conduct or acknowledge any wrongdoing. Her status could not help her get away with that behavior. The next one is also the same who tried to threaten the officer after being pulled over. State Senator Marty Harbin, a Republican best known for sponsoring a controversial religious freedom bill in the legislature, was pulled over by an officer for having an expired tag.
I pay my bills.
Okay.
I'm a state senator. I'm not stupid.
The officer reaches the pickup truck to talk to him about the problem. Marty suddenly tells the officer that he is a state senator and that he pays his bills. When the officer tells him about the crime, he starts to argue with the officer and warns him that he will call the mayor and the rest of them.
I won't call Eric Dial, but I'll call the rest of them. But I pay my bills. This will not go over well.
He says that it will not go over well. The officer says that the law allows them to impound the vehicle with an expired tag.
I tell you, you can talk to everybody at the department. The car's going to be impounded.
Marty then makes some phone calls, and after that, he says to the officer that he is going to change the law.
Because I'm going to take this and I'm going to the state and we're going to change the law.
He says that he has experienced a ludicrous law.
I mean, you're not the only one this happens to. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm just saying
it's not
the
like
law,
we're picking on you.
The law's wrong in that respect.
Okay.
And I'm not mad at
Well, that's
you.
what I mean. We can't change the law. I mean,
Well,
that,
I can't.
But that's you.
The officers say that they cannot change the law, to which Marty says that he can. Later, Marty introduced a bill that would allow people to drive away with expired tag violations. However, critics of the bill said it would make it harder for law enforcement to identify stolen or unregistered vehicles. The bill also faced opposition from county officials. The bill did not pass the Senate before the legislative session ended on March 29, 2018, but Marty said he would try again, and that is how the lawmaker got away from breaking the law. In conclusion, we saw some of these politicians and leaders, how they tried to use their power or threats to get out of trouble, but failed miserably. So, do you think these politicians deserved what they got? Or do you think they should have faced more consequences? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more content.